Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, he has a doctorate in economics and of history. Webster Tarpley's predictions are devastatingly accurate. They would call him a progressive. I mean, he does believe in government options. I don't completely agree with some of his views on that, but his analysis of the markets and the power structure is one of the most accurate out there. And he's written 2 books, Barack H. Obama, the unauthorized biography about the controlled left, Reverend Wright, the Mecha La Raza stuff, and Obama, the postmodern coup. And I've got him on this hour and a little bit into the next to talk about the 1,000-point drop, what's happening in Greece. Now it was 150 billion, then 600 billion, now $1 trillion. Now they want more than $1 trillion. The White House has Kagan saying, this is a quote, disappear free speech if the government deems it offensive. She's a Larry Summers minion, a Cass Sunstein minion. There's another, we've got CNN and MSNBC saying it's good that Hillary Clinton can strip you of your citizenship and secretly arrest you if she wants. We'll cover that before Webster leaves. I mean, this is bona fide tyranny, and they're about to have a Supreme Court justice who would be more at home in Nazi Germany or Maoist China. Now, I want to put a plug in here. The people are ready to be awakened. The people are ready to hear the truth. The people are ready to fully understand what's happening. 2 films. The Obama Deception, out over a year with Webster Tarpley, the most successful film I've ever released. People will see this. Everything in it came true. Part 2, out for 6 months, Fall of the Republic. Tarpley's one of the key people. Max Kaiser's in it, many others, Jesse Ventura. You have got to get this film and make copies and show it to everyone. We break down exactly what the banks would do, how they'd go after Greece next, a year ago. Okay? 2 new films, Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA, documenting Northcom, the Homeland Security Takeover Program, the executive orders, the arrest of citizens, what they're really setting up. Conservatives have got to see this particularly, and liberals, so they understand anti-terror is for the American people. Such an important film, a year in the making. Jason Bermas's new film, a year and a half in the making, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, that it's really an old world order of finance oligarchs, their crimes, their narcotics trafficking, all of it available at Infowars.com, or you can simply call toll-free 888-253-3139. And your purchase also funds our operation. We're not funded by the Ford Foundation or by the New World Order. We're funded by your support, and I want to thank you. You have made what we do here possible. Get the book, Barack H. Obama, the unauthorized biography, if you want to really know what's going on, what's behind Obama. Obama, the postmodern coup. Both of these available at Infowars.com. Of course, he also wrote the unauthorized biography of George H.W. Bush and all of his Nazi ties. I mean, Tarpley is an equal opportunity offender. He just goes at the facts. Now, Tarpley heard me during the last segment playing the Ford Foundation operative, and all these speakers everywhere at these open borders rallies saying, we are communists. We're going to overthrow America. We're going to kick the gringos out. They want division, just like over and over again, every month, top white supremacists that comes out are feds. So Webster Tarpley, you were one of probably the leading expert. I mean, both these books cover it. On the Ford Foundation, on the CIA. Washington Post admits for 50 years they sent radical textbooks to madrasas all over the Middle East, Central Asia, really expanding the Muslim Brotherhood, expanding what the Germans had done in World War II into this ultra-radical group so that they won't politically work with others. Explain what's happening on this before we get into the economy.
Well, just briefly on that, this raving character that you're quoting is all over many radio stations. Rush Limbaugh gave a great deal of attention to this character, and the obvious truth about him is this is not some authentic, honest person who believes in Mao or whatever it is and wants a revolution. This is a cynical, money-grubbing shill. He is a provocateur funded by the foundations, and his job is to get out there and spout the most inflammatory rhetoric that he can so that you work people up into a hysteria. There's a grave danger this week that people would say, it's time to crush Wall Street. It's time to shut down hedge funds, wipe out derivatives, put Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs in jail. So at this point, the wonderful foundations come forward conveniently with a diversion, right? To say, don't worry about Wall Street. Don't worry about Citibank and Bank of America robbing you blind and raping your entire family and the future to come. Let's focus on wetbacks. Let's get out there and get some good anti-Hispanic, anti-Latino hysteria going, and then we can play that. That's divide and conquer. It's the oldest game in the world. And in the course of writing those books you were kind enough to mention, this is Obama's background. What do you think Jeremiah Wright was? The guy at the church who has all the the Abuse for America and U.S. of KKKA. Who pays him? Well, foundations pay him. They pay him to make this kind of stuff ultimately into a religion. That's what he represents. And Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn, what were they 30, 40 years ago, right, with their bombings of various public buildings from the Pentagon to the Capitol to New York City Police Headquarters? Same thing, divide and conquer, right? Get extremists out there, make them the face of protest movements, and then it's easy to isolate and destroy the protest movement. In other words, it's time to wake up to manipulation. We also have this American Indian movements, right? We have all kinds of foundation-funded operatives in those, and in the Hispanic community. There's La Raza. They get their money, a lot of it, from the Ford Foundation.
Oh, no, I mean, they're completely bankrolled. They're completely bankrolled by the Ford Foundation and the Fortune 500. But let's go back. Robert Rodriguez put a trailer out for a film coming out in 4 months in September 3rd. And we, by the way, just got the script. It's what we thought. I have people inside his organization separately contact me who are Hispanic, and they said, we're worried about a backlash against Hispanics on this. We wish you would cover it. And all I had was the trailer. Fox has now pulled the trailer, but it shows that all whites are basically racist. An uprising of, machete Hispanics have to fight the racist gringos. It says that we didn't cross the border crossed us. I don't think Rodriguez is a bad guy.
I don't know about this guy. I'm talking about this character who makes this speech in this.
No, I know, but I mean that's standard for these things. But this is what I'm saying. What do you think of a major movie injecting the same type of rhetoric put out by 20th Century Fox?
I don't know. This movie is something I haven't seen, and I haven't been able to pay any attention to it in the midst of this financial panic. But the one thing we know is that the people who lead these movements are provocateurs. They're paid agents of foundations. Then, of course, you have dupes. You have people who get caught up into the ideological extremism and the fanaticism, and it becomes cool, and it becomes the way to go, so they go with the flow. I can't comment on individuals, obviously, but the general idea that you should now focus on questions of race or ethnicity is pure insanity. The great rule of politics is fight Wall Street. If you're not fighting bankers, you're spinning your wheels. You're cutting your own throat. You're betraying every value. Because the main center of evil is in Wall Street, and people have got to deal with it and wake up.
Okay, I want to go over all this. This just broke minutes ago. Senate unanimously approves measure to audit the Fed, but there were two different bills. I don't know if this is...
It's been watered down. It was watered down because Rahm Emanuel issued a threat to Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders rolled over in the last 2 days and radically diminished what was being audited. So there is some auditing. At least it's a precedent. You will have the, I guess it's the General Accounting Office go into the Fed and find out something about 2007, 2008, but it's very limited. It's much less than was originally planned, but at least it gets a wedge in there. So take it from there. It's a beginning, not an end.
All right, Webster, I just want to put an end cap on the issue. That's why I've been covering this, is because people, even inside the production, are worried it's going to cause a backlash. So you agree with me, plus that's the evidence, that this is a foundation-funded operation to divide Americans and basically, just like white supremacists try to intimidate whites to join them, saying, how dare you? There's a move by the foundations to radicalize Hispanics.
Absolutely. This is beyond question. Now, the specific case, again, I don't know it. You know that much better than I do. But as a general rule, people who are now coming out with inflammatory, ethno-cultural, racist, xenophobic, nativist, know-nothing stuff, or on the other side, the anti-gringo idiocy, this is simply an obvious ploy. These are provocateurs. This is a foundation strategy to divide and conquer, and the beneficiary is in Wall Street, so let's turn our attention to them.
And then meanwhile, you've got all over the country, kids can't wear American flags in the school. I mean, that shows the brainwashing is working. I mean, I don't think the false flag is down to the local school.
Well, these are ideological fanatics. In other words, these are people who, in a crisis like this, when you have the entire society collapsing, many people, especially in the petty bourgeoisie, typically teachers, people like this, they go bonkers, right? They don't know what to do anymore, right? The world is collapsing before their eyes, right? The stock market goes down 1,000 points in 10 minutes. Their world is collapsing. So you can expect all kinds of bizarre, extreme behavior. But I wouldn't get so worried about this. Turn the fire on Wall Street is the great rule.
Well, that's why we've got you here 5 minutes into the next hour.